Hello, hello, hello. All right. Okay. Hello there. Listen, I'm excited about today's live and I want to jump right in. Today, I want to share with you three lies you believe that are keeping you from living your significant life. Go ahead, get your notebook, get a piece of paper, get a real good pen, and let's get into this. And if you already know, Janice, I want some help, I'm ready to go further. You can book your significant life clarity call with me at liveleadserve.com. Liveleadserve.com. So today we're going to talk about what is stopping you from living and enjoying God's best for your life. I want to share these three lies with you. Three lies women believe that keep them stuck on a level of success in life and leadership that is far beneath what was intended for them. And I'm going to share with you the one truth that will set you free. I'm Janice Anderson, founder of Significant Life, where I get the awesome privilege of helping high performing Christian women live, lead, and serve from an anchored place so that they can embody lives marked by leadership, legacy, and fully alive. Many of them, we're leading and we are positioning ourselves for legacy. But that fully alive part, some of us are just hanging on by a thread. So let's jump into these three lies that you believe that are keeping you from living your significant life. Lie number 3: God's best is hidden in struggle and striving. Tell me if you've ever believed that God's best for me is hidden in struggle and striving. Okay, maybe you're like, Janice, no, I don't believe that. Yeah, yes, you do. How I know you do? Because I hear y'all when you say, well, God wanted me to go through that so that I could tell other people, how good he is. God wanted me to go through this because he knew that if I went through this, that I would be able to help more people. Can y'all stop lying on God? Can we stop lying on God? God doesn't need your struggle to bless you. He doesn't need your struggle, your striving, your pain to use you mightily, nor does he need your struggle, your stress, your pain, or your shame to validate who you are and what you can contribute to this world. Now, will he use that? Is he able to? Yes, but he doesn't need those things. So lie number 3, God's best is hidden beneath the struggle and striving. No, can I level with y'all real quick? Some of us are struggling. Some of you are striving. Some of you are in uncomfortable situations because of your choices. A lot of things we face in life are literally reproofs of life. This is the result of some decisions that you made. Okay, this is just because you made poor decisions. Or maybe it's a result of some warfare. That is a true thing. And maybe in some instances, this is divine sovereignty. But in most cases, what you are blaming on God, like he put me through this, he's making me do this, he made me have this struggle bus so that he can get the glory from my life. Stop lying on him. Okay, he can get glory, but he ain't making that happen. Okay, lie number 2. If it's easy, it ain't worth it or valid. Some of us are believing that if something comes easy, if it's almost like effortless, then it ain't worth it or valid. I'm reminded of a time when I got my first 6-figure contract. I was so excited. I'm an entrepreneur. If you don't know already, I'm an entrepreneur. I actually run 2 businesses, and I remember when I got my first 6-figure contract, I was so excited. I mean, I had gone through the whole process of writing out, what I would do. I got it to my lawyer. We got it approved, and the potential client signed it with ease, grace, no problem at all. But I had knots in my stomach. And it was interesting because at the time I was living in an apartment, I was fresh out of my divorce and I was just trying to rebuild. It was what I had been preparing for. What I had been praying for is what I had been working all of those years up to for moments like that. And it didn't settle with me. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So I went on a walk. At the time, we had a black cocker spaniel, Rocky, and we went on a walk around our apartment complex. And I was walking Rocky, and I was just like, oh Lord, and I was praying, and I was just praying and crying and praying and crying and praying and crying. And there was this one point in the walk where I really had this encounter with God. My eyes were closed and tears were streaming down my face. And I heard God speak to me so loudly. And he said to me, Janice, you're addicted to the struggle. I was like, what? What? Wait. He said again, you're addicted to struggle. It was hard for me to accept the contract that I earned it, that I could do it, that I could perform it, that it was the right thing, that it was for me, because I had grown addicted to struggle. Because it was so easy for me to write that contract. I mean, I thought about what would I do? I don't know if you all do this, but this is something I do when I'm taking on a client. I kind of envision what our work would be like together. And so as I was putting together this agreement, I was like, what would I do if I were working this deal? What would I do? And this person already had a well-known, established brand in the marketplace, highly sought after, multiple books sold, businesses in various different countries, a global ministry that was very prominent. So it was somebody I looked up to, and she was referred to me. And so I was like, okay. So I thought, what would I do with her brand? And I just kind of envisioned it. I got my flip chart paper and my flip chart markers, and I just went throughout my apartment, putting flip chart paper all over the windows in my office and on the walls. And I said, this is what I would do. And then I typed up in high level bullets what I would do. I'm a strategist, y'all. How it would get her to her next goal. I saw it, and it was easy for me. And because it was easy, I had believed that it probably wasn't worth it. It wasn't valid. It couldn't be true because it was easy. Listen, easy for you isn't always easy for somebody else. Easy for you is likely easy because of your gifts, your talents, your skills, your ability, the things that God has placed inside of you. That's why it's easy for you. But y'all, the second lie that women often believe that keep us from living our significant life is that if it is easy, then it ain't worth it or it's not valid. Easy ain't wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with easy. Easy just means that, maybe God has favored you in that place. And then lie number one that keeps you from living your significant life. And this lie right here, when I think about it, I see many amazing women stuck in cycles of contentment, complacency at levels in their life, in their business, in their career, in their relationships that is far beneath what God intended for them, because they believe this lie. And this lie is loyalty breeds longevity. How many of you have believed that lie, that loyalty breeds longevity? Listen, your allegiance to a person, place, institution, idea, or thing does not mean that it's sufficient for your next level. Some of you are holding on to something because you want to show that you can stick with it through thick and thin. You want to show that, you know what, I'm loyal. I'm with you. I got your back. I was with you in the beginning. Y'all remember back in the day when people would stay on their jobs for 30 and 40 and 50 years? Like that's not the day we live in right now. We literally live in the time of the Great Resignation. Folks be quitting jobs. I was never that person. By the way, let's go ahead and say this. I didn't stay on jobs long. I mean, I remember there was one time I was praying. I was like, God, is something wrong with me? Because I cannot stay on a place very long. Now, I stayed in relationships way too long, but I didn't stay on jobs long. If I didn't like what they were doing, if it wasn't challenging me, homegirl will quit or sabotage myself. Okay, I digress. So, but what some of us believes loyalty breeds longevity. No, loyalty, your allegiance to a thing or a person, it doesn't mean that it's going to be long lasting. It's going to be healthy, whole, and produce much fruit. It just means you holding on real tight. And so some of you, the reason why you're not living God's best for your life and you're not even embracing the tip of what he has for you is because you're holding on to a person. You're holding on to a place. You're holding on to an institution and an idea that you have outgrown, that is now outdated, that it's time to release. So let's go over those lies one more time. All right, lie number one, God's best is hidden in struggle and striving. Stop lying on God. His best don't have to come beneath the strive. He can use the strive. He can use the struggle to bless you, but he is not burying his best for you within the struggle. Girl, release the struggle. Lie number two, if it's easy, it ain't worth it or valid. Easy can literally be an indication that this is a place where God has blessed you probably disproportionate in relation to someone else. It is easy for me to strategize. I am a strategist at heart. It is my gifting. Give me a vision, I'm going to create you a roadmap. Give me a goal, I'm going to show you how to get there. That is a gift of God from me. Okay, for me. There's a gift from God for me. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. So don't discount it because it's easy. And lie number one, loyalty breeds longevity. Some of you need to cut ties with some people, places, things, and ideas because they are no longer sufficient for your next level. But I want to give you the one truth. Already. So I told you I was going to give you 3 lies that you believe that keep you from living God's best for your life and your significant life. And I'm going to give you one truth that's going to set you free. I work with high achieving women and I see this all the time. And because they don't embrace this one truth, they're stuck in an endless cycle of trying to make it happen. They're stuck in an endless cycle of being successful, but not at the highest level. And because the people around them, the people who see them are saying, girl, you hashtag goals. Sis, I see you do that, sis. Yes, goals, sis. They haven't embraced the fact that their average is somebody else's aspiration, but they are meant for more. And so the truth is this, though. This is the truth. Y'all ready? Get ready. Get ready. You are not the outcomes you create. That's the truth. You're not the outcomes you create, good or bad. You are not the outcomes you create. Your success or failures don't paint the entire picture of who you are. Your results are not what you do. Your results are what you did, not who you are. And so often, as high-performing, high-achieving women, we wrap up our results in our marriage. We wrap up the results with our children. We wrap our results in how we showed up in our business and who we are. So listen, you ain't that $1 million that you created. You're not them beautiful children that you created that's living out their testimony right now. Listen. You're not that marriage that is picture perfect. You are not those things. You know, a good relationship is what you create as a result of your work, but it ain't who you are. And let me tell you why I want to make sure you understand that distinction. Because when you become defined by your results, the moment they fluctuate, and baby, they're going to fluctuate, whether they fluctuate high or they fluctuate low, you are going to be going back and forth like, am I good? Am I not good? I was talking the other day with my brand strategist, and we were working on this new project that we have for me. And I'm so excited. I'll tell you all about that at another time. And she was asking me about significant life and why I do this work. And she said, Janice, if you could just say one thing, one statement, if you could just live from that one statement, what would that be? And of course, I'm saying, I'm the founder of Significant Life. I want to say, you are significant. But no, she said, what else? I was like, I would want people to know. I would want the individual to know. I would want you to know, who's watching me, that you are sufficient. As you are, who you are sufficient. You are enough. You're not, who you are is not defined by what you achieve and what you create. Those things only reveal decisions you've made. Your results are a sum total of the decisions you've made. And guess what? Since you made one decision, you can make a different decision. So you are not what you create. Okay, let me tell y'all why that's important. So she said, have you ever had a time? And I was going to show you all the video of me because I ended up crying. And I was like, maybe or maybe not. So maybe I might show it at another time. I might, right below this video, show a portion of it. But she asked me how to have a time when I have ever felt like I wasn't sufficient. And she's like, do you ever wrestle with that? And I'm like, girl, I do this work and I know that I'm sufficient. And yes, I wrestle with it. And so I felt like yes was an insufficient response. And here's why. Because it's high achieving, high performing women and those of you high performing men, it's not often that we can acknowledge at a real deep level our vulnerabilities and our moments of insufficiency. But I felt like, let me just talk to her and let her know. So I shared with her, my husband and I were walking through this season with one of my daughters. We were navigating this season of her, just finding her way and living out her testimony. And I remember there was one moment as we were traveling this path where I was just like, I don't know what else to do. And I just kept saying, and I don't know what to do. And I was looking at my husband, and he was doing his best, y'all. He was giving me his good stuff. He was giving me the best. Well, honey, you can keep doing what you've been doing. You could, he was just, and you're not gonna let the enemy just trick you. And he was trying. He was doing his best because I was crying. I was like, I don't know what else to do. And then I took it the next day to my quiet time and my private time with the Lord. And I was like, God, I don't know what to do. And what I was essentially saying, like, I didn't need a checklist or do this, do that. You know, when you're in those moments when you're feeling insignificant or insufficient, when you're feeling like you're not enough, it's not that I need this checklist. Go turn on the lights, go make the coffee, go drive the kids to school, go read this book, go see this therapist. That's really not what you need. Like, I didn't need that in that moment. I knew the next logical, practical thing to do. I'm a strategist. That's what I do. But what I was essentially saying is, Lord, I've been doing what I know to do. And while I'm not a perfect parent, I am an intentional parent. And I have been intentional in the way that I'm raising my children. I'm intentional in how I'm parenting my daughter. And I'm thinking, my intentionality is not enough. And then I went further, like, and I'm not enough. In that moment, I felt like my best efforts were not enough. And so then I started thinking, I'm just not enough. And it was in that moment, if you know anything about me, I try to drill down to that layer of specificity when I'm having my time with the Lord, especially when I'm getting ready to pray, so that I'll know how to pray. Please take this as a concept that I really want you to embrace and use it in your own life. When you get honest and real about how you feel with the God that you serve, the one who created you, it is at that point that he can meet you there, and he can usher in a level of healing that is irrevocable and irreversible. Because at that place, you know, you're now removing all the fluff. And so you could deal with the core issue. It's not that I don't know what to do. It wasn't that I didn't know what to do. Shoot, I know what to do. I could have made up something. I got 100 books. I'm literally, to the right of me is at least 30 books, at least. And probably 6 of them are about parenting. So it's not that I don't know what to do. I can pick up a book and it can give me some steps. In that moment, I just didn't feel like I was enough. But here's the reality. When I said that and I wrote it out, I just heard the Holy Spirit remind me, you are enough. And so then it's like then the question came up. What determines whether or not you're sufficient? Is it the outcome? Because if I'm enough, then she'll make wise choices. If I'm enough, then they will stay with me. If I'm enough, you insert your thing. If I'm enough, then this is going to happen. That's why the truth is, you're not the outcomes you create. Baby, you're not them outcomes, good or bad. You're not those outcomes. Those outcomes are results of some decisions you've made and some choices you've made, and then how those decisions and those choices play with what's going on in the world around you, what's going on in circumstances, and if you're dealing with other people, their decision and their choices, and then together they create this outcome. But that ain't who you are. And when you embrace this truth, I was like, oh, I remember waking up in that moment saying, you right, Lord. No, you determine whether I'm sufficiency. And you've already determined that I am enough. I've already determined I'm the head and not the tail. You have already determined that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. You've already determined that I was crafted, royal priesthood by you. You've already determined these things independent of what I do. Girl, listen. So you got to get back to the truth. And when you embrace this truth that you're not the outcomes, the 3 things that are possible for you. Number 1, you live from possibility, not uncertainty. Because I already know that my sufficiency is in him. And I am enough because of who he is. And I am enough even whether this outcome is what I wanted or is less than ideal. So I can now face the day with possibility, not uncertainty. Number 2, when you embrace this truth that you are not the outcomes you create, you can dream unreasonable dreams. When you realize that you are not your outcomes, that you are not the results, You start dreaming dreams that make no sense because they're God-sized dreams. They are dependent upon him and you're just partnering with him. And number 3, when you embrace this truth, your achievements are a baseline, but they are not the goal. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. I told myself I was not going to stay long. So I just wanted to come and I wanted to share with you 3 things that we often believe, 3 lies we often believe that keep us from living our significant life. If you know, Janice, I am ready to live my significant life. I am ready to live, lead, and serve from an anchored place, not a scattered place. I am ready to elevate the way that I'm showing up in the world. Yes, I'm a leader. Yes, I'm a woman of legacy, but I'm ready to do that and be fully alive at the highest level that I can. I want to invite you to book your significant life clarity call by visiting liveleadserve.com. That's liveleadserve.com. Wherever you're watching this video, it's also in the comments. And listen, I want you to drop where you're watching this video. Your biggest takeaway. Let me know what is your biggest takeaway from this session. I hope you got something out of it, and I look forward to coming back and sharing more nuggets that are going to help you along your significant life journey. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you soon. And even if you're watching a replay, still comment below this video. Talk to you soon. Bye.